Hello all, welcome to my video. This is DJ's Crazy, and today we're going to talk about the new test server. Again, this is the 2.9.0.289 test server, and we have the various things to test out. And first of all, we have the Mark III dash robot prototype. And this time round, we have the medium dash robot prototype, as well as a small size dash robot, which is pretty exciting to test all of them out. Next we have the Gekko, and this one is a new model, and the damage increased to 1770, previously being 1469, which is, to me, not necessary, of course. And we have the Pinatas. This is quite interesting because they increase the capacity, missile capacity, to 19 instead of 16 missiles, and then the damage decreased to 900, previously being 979. And next we have the Tulumbas, which also has the damage increased to 1880, previously being 1756. And then we have the Orkans. Damage increased to 1130, previously being 979, which is, to me, reasonable. I don't think the Orkan needs to, but I think all the rest needs to. Pinatas, Tulumbas, I think they all need to have a slight damage increase. Because I feel that the Orkan is completely fine. I don't need any energy bumps, but the Tulumbas, to me, is a little bit weak at the moment. I'd rather have the old Tulumbas, where you have to reload for 17 seconds and then you deal quite a lot of damage. So that's my view, because now the Tulumbas tends to kind of reload quite slowly, and it fires, although it has the reload while firing mechanic. The missiles aren't doing much damage, and it takes a while. It takes a second or two to get another missile, so I don't really enjoy using it that much, especially with the low damage. As you can see, I'm using the new light robot, dash robot, and to me this is, I think, the most perfect dash robot out of them three, because this is so comparable to the Gekko, which I think it's quite nice, and I think this should be the medium robot instead of the light robot, I think. And next we have of course, the medium robot with 3 medium weapon slot. As I said before, I like the previous sort of 2 weapon slot, because I think it's just more fair. This medium robot is just slightly overpowered with the energy shield. Although I love the energy shield, but I don't really want to see it with a dash robot, because it has quite a big disadvantage on the Gekkos. Because in my opinion, I don't think we need another robot that could easily overtake the Gekkos. Because now you have the Galahads. If this particular medium robot comes into play with 3 medium weapon slots, I mean, it'll completely render the Gekkas useless, completely useless. And I think it's just way too powerful with the 3 medium weapon slots, as well as the energy shield. So that's why I think sort of the 2 medium weapon slots without any shields, that one should be introduced. And also, I think as for a heavy robot, I would like to see the medium robot take the medium robot with the energy shield instead of the physical shield, because the physical shield just doesn't really do much. Although I did block a couple of energy blasts. Yeah, as you can see now, I blocked the Zeus. But most of the time I don't. It doesn't really do anything. So what I want to see is maybe the medium robot with the energy shield would replace this heavy robot to make that a heavy robot, and that's what I think would be a better choice altogether. Of course, I do think the dash ability cooldown time should be increased, and much like the Griffin, like how not like the Griffin, but like a shorter, maybe 12 seconds of cooldown time, and about the same speed as this one, you know, the current heavy dash robot prototype. Yeah, that could work as well. Just saying, either a medium robot, you know, with the 2 weapon slots, or the heavy robot with 3 weapon slots. That's fair to me. As I've said in the previous videos, I'm not a long range guy, so I can't give too much view on this particular weapon, Gekko, especially because I never really use it. To me, I don't really like when long range weapons have reload while firing mechanics, because they have long range, and it would be slightly unfair if they can just keep shooting and shooting. That's just quite unfair to me. This is one thing. Next, of course, I'll have to try the orkans and the pinatas. I absolutely adore the pinatas now, because the capacity is increased to 19 actually, instead of 16, I believe. Yeah, let me check on that. Yes, 19 missiles. And to me, because the fact that the pinatas are quite vulnerable, because it will make you quite vulnerable, because after you've finished firing all of your missiles, you're gonna have to wait for such a long time in order to fire again. So although it's a death button, sometimes you don't get to, you know, kill the enemy. So you will be left with 2 orkans if you have this setup, which takes a while to take health off of the other robots. So I really genuinely like this setup now, and I hope that they would keep this 19 missiles, and slightly I don't mind it being decreased, the damage per hit, but I do think 19 missiles is a good start. It's a good way to go. Next, we're going to try out the Punisher and Punisher Mark II, and them both has increased in damage. The Punisher being 280, previously being 254, and then the Mark II is now 420, previously being 380. And I'm not a machine gun sort of guy, but seeing this change is I think it's a good move, because I do think the machine guns are very weak, and it doesn't take off much health in a short time. So I don't see I don't see it being useful in a battlefield where you're faced against blast or plasma weapons. And to me, to me, it just doesn't really work that well previously. But now I do think it has a slightly higher effect on the battlefield, and I completely think that is a good change if this happens. As you can see, I'm not sure if it's the server problem, but some of the shots aren't really taking, aren't really registering, and I ain't actually doing any damage to anything. But now I'm using try out the pins and the Tulumbas together. This is where I want to show you like what I mean by it being quite weak, and the reload time, the reload while firing it's slow, and I don't really like that. I'd rather you sort of use the sort of guerrilla tactic. Using the Griffin, you can jump up and then fire all the shots like previously, and you deal quite a lot of damage. As opposed to now, you sort of you tend to sort of use it. What I do, personally, I do sort of tend to use it like a Pinatas and Orkans, but maybe it's my fault, but I just don't feel that it's powerful enough, and I don't think the reload while firing mechanic is worth it to sort of make these weapons weaker, in my opinion. So that's why I really want to see damage increase, or a shorter reload time, as opposed to having reload while firing ability, in my view. As you can see here, I really am not performing extremely well, because especially in these sort of close quarter maps, I'm very vulnerable against enemies. I do have to take the 500 meters in mind. I do have to keep that distance, otherwise Tulumbas isn't gonna work that well. But so far I do enjoy using it, but I do think the damage bump is needed, or I'd rather you take away the reload while firing and have a slightly shorter reload time with high damage. That's my view. And I hope this video explained what's going on with test servers, and I do think the machine guns and the missile weapons, their damage increase is appropriate. Apart from the Orkans, I don't think it needs to be bumped in damage. And whereas I think the long range weapons, the Gekkos, I don't particularly enjoy that, because I do think long range weapons should be kept lower in damage and slower reload time. So I don't really agree with the reload while firing ability on the Gekko. As far as the 3 dash robots is concerned, I definitely love the 2 weapon slot medium robot, medium dash robot. I do think the agility, the firepower is balanced, much like the Rogeka. Not the current Rogeka, but the Rogekas in the test servers. It's kept more in line, and or they can also add in the heavy robot, dash robot, with 3 medium weapon slots, with energy shields, and of course slower cooldown time and slower pace, and not too high in HP, in my view. So thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos to come. Thank you, bye.